Let us now begin the process of recording the screen and making a screencast using the tools that I mentioned. The first step is of course to start the screen recorder, and I mentioned Blueberry Flashback Express Recorder. So we will start the program now using the shortcut on the desktop, and the program has an option to either open an existing recording or to record the screen. We will press record your screen, and there are some choices here whether to record the full screen or a region or some window that can be done, and whether to record sound or not. So now in this case we want to record sound, so we will click on record sound here, and you can check your microphone and do all that. If you want the webcam, you can record it here, but we don't want to, and we'll minimize this to play while recording, and we will click the button to start the recording. The recording has now started, and generally what I find very useful is if you are moving from one thing to another or one screen to another, you make the change and you wait a few seconds before you talk. That way you can have a gap that you can remove later on, so that the process of clicking and moving cursors will be deleted from the video without losing any important audio or things that you were talking about. So right now we are recording the screen and it will be a blank screen, and I can show you how we can cut out bits of it. For example, I will make a pause now, and later on we will cut this pause out. So the beauty of screencast is that you can bring up anything that you want and record it. For example, we could bring up a PowerPoint presentation. Now this is the PowerPoint presentation I used before, and it will be recorded onto the video that we are recording now. Let me just click out of it. This is just an example of what you can do. I also mentioned that you can use the writing tablet. Now here I am using the simple software Paint, and I have connected my writing tablet, and now I can write what I want while I talk. Of course, in a real screencast one would endeavor to have neater handwriting than this, and it will appear on the screen. Now if you are going to get out of this, like I said, you can have a pause and click out and cut that pause out later. Another useful thing you can do with this software is to explain how other softwares can be used. So if you want to give a tutorial on how to use Firefox, you can click on Firefox, start it up and show how it can be used. But we won't go into that right now. The thing you can do, of course, is you can play a video. I will bring up a video based on something I made for a class that shows how to use a particular
To get
software.
started on the software, you have to open the tool. The tool is the West Point Bridge Designer tool, which
So this
icon on your desktop
is made using screencasting, and it clicks on the software, and then you can walk the students through the software like I am doing here. I will not spend too much time watching this. And the great thing, when you play the video and make the screencast, you can pause, you can talk about something, and you can continue all as you like, or you can jump to one particular place of the video and then you can play it from there. You can move. Now here the screencast, I am already moving my mouse around, and then on top of that I can move the mouse around again. So you can basically remix other people's videos and present it in the screencast. It's very powerful. So that is all that we will do, because we are really trying to show you the process of recording and editing. Now we have to stop the recording, so we will find the stop button and stop it. Now having stopped the recording, the program is asking whether you want to save it, so we will of course save it. and it's going to the default directory for this software, and we will say we will make it as trial and we'll save it. Now it's saved in its own particular format for this software that is not recognizable by other things, so we have to first open the thing in the player and export it in a standard format. The recording has now started, and generally what I find very useful. So here we have
you are
the
moving from
video that we just made
another,
is now being played back to us, and we can
you make the change and you wait a few seconds
happen and
before you
so
talk.
on, and it plays through
That
all
way
4
you
minutes
can
of our video. We don't want to waste time
have a gap that you can remove
again, so I will
later on.
pause it here. The important thing we are doing here is because right now this does not give us editing facilities because it's a free portion of a commercial software, but it allows us to record and export. So the main thing is to export it, and I found that you should export it. The best way is to export it as AVI. It makes a very large file, but you can edit and produce that later. So I am going to export as AVI. It will ask me for some selections, and I will just click OK on the default selections. And the whole movie, I will not fiddle with these, but you can play with these settings if you like later on, and we will export. And it will be exported as trial, and so we will go ahead and export it. This will take a long time. That's because the file is going to be a very large file, and it all depends on how fast your computer is and how much RAM that you have. It has finished. We will say we don't want to view it. The file should have saved as an AVI file, so we'll say no here. And now we are done with the Blueberry Flashback software, so we will get out of it and we will stop that as well. And now we will go and look for our file. So it should be in the default area, which in this case should be in my documents, and we have a file here which is 90 megabytes, which is much too large really to give to students because it has all the resolution of the original file. So now we will open this. I will prefer to open this with the VLC media player.
The recording has now started,
check that it's there.
And generally what I find very useful is if you are moving a PowerPoint presentation.
And we can see that the whole thing
so
is there.
Find the stop button and stop it.
So it's all there.